Alright, now this isn't really the kind of thing that I'd usually make a video on. The only single reason being, it's political. And honestly, when have you ever heard me talk about politics on this channel? But anyways, to get straight to the point, TikTok may be getting banned in certain countries. Those countries that are looking at banning TikTok, as far as I know, are India, the United States, and the United Kingdom. To be fair, India's already banned it, but the US in particular is probably almost certainly going to ban TikTok. India was the first to ban TikTok, and the main reason for this is because of a disputed border conflict that's been going on for like a long time. To be fair, all I know is that this border conflict has been going on for years now, and India and China have just been complaining about like who controls certain parts of the border and that sort of thing. And a few weeks ago there was a clash there that killed 20 Indian soldiers, and as you can probably imagine, India wasn't really too happy about that. So TikTok wasn't the only app they banned, they're also banning a bunch of other Chinese apps. Here are some of the apps that India has banned. They're all made by like a Chinese company. Some of them I even use myself, like Share It, I use that one quite a lot. And yeah, they're just going to ban all those apps. Obviously, that's not the only thing that India has done in retaliation to China, but it's the most well known, and I don't use TikTok very much at all. I don't even think I have it installed, but it's undoubtedly got hundreds of millions of downloads, and, you know, it's big news, isn't it? But yeah, since the US is politically quite close to India, and they also don't like China very much either, they banned Google, a US company, from working with Huawei, a Chinese company. That was about a year ago, just before I was about to buy a Huawei phone. But I got an iPhone instead, because, I mean, they're just better, aren't they? But yeah, it doesn't look like there's much hope at all for TikTok not getting banned. Like, if they can ban a phone company who sells more phones than Apple does, then they can probably ban an app. By the way, if you are enjoying the video, then please subscribe. Please. I don't know if the India-China conflict is a part of the reason why the US is banning it, but it probably is a big fraction of it. The main reason is, I think, a bit like the Huawei situation, the US believes that the Chinese government could be using it to spy on people internationally or something. Alright, let me just get an article or something, because I honestly don't really know. CNN, no, don't trust CNN. Alright, okay, BBC News. Would you recommend downloading TikTok? Secretary of State Mike Pompeo or something was asked that question on Monday night on Fox News. Only if you want your private information in the hands of the Chinese Communist Party, he replied. Asked if he would ban Chinese apps, including TikTok, he said, I don't want to get out in front of the president, but it's something that we are looking at. This is a very worrying statement for TikTok. The huge Chinese social media company has experienced phenomenal growth in the last 3 years. It's been downloaded more than 2 billion times. That's about 1.5 billion losers. But around the world, and not just in the US, TikTok is facing a backlash. It's finding out the hard way that being international, a tech company, and Chinese isn't really a great combination right now. By far, its largest market, India, banned TikTok last week along with 58 other Chinese apps. Oh well, I didn't even use it. Thousands of miles away, Mr. Pompeo said that he welcomed India's move to ban the apps. They serve as appendages of the Chinese Communist Party's surveillance state, he said. It was a pretty extraordinary statement that flew relatively under the radar. The US government had congratulated the banning of TikTok in another country. Good to see India ban 59 popular apps owned by the Chinese firm, tweeted Nikki Haley, the former US ambassador to the United Nations. Much of this can be linked to Huawei, says James Sullivan, head of cyber research at British security think tank Ruzi, or something, I don't know. Huawei is the test case, he says. It's possibly a start of a trend in the West where sanctions will seek to squeeze or even sink large Chinese tech companies. So in other words, judging by that, it's very likely that not just in the US but in the entire western part of the world that it might be banned, or at least people considering it. So sad we won't see videos like this anymore.
If you don't want Amelia, you can always have me.
Well, hey, I didn't know the Knights had hot cat girls, too.
Actually, I'm a boy.
No, you're fucking not.
No, really, I'm
I said, no, you're fucking not.
Yeah, great banter, but not for me, really. But yeah, if the US, India, and UK do end up banning TikTok, then that might inspire a bunch of other countries to ban TikTok, and I've heard Australia is being urged to ban it as well, which, you know, could influence other countries. You know, it literally could influence NATO to just ban TikTok. I mean, probably not. It's probably not going to happen, but you know, it could happen, we don't know. But yeah, as of right now, I'm almost certain that it's going to get banned in the US. In the UK and Australia, I think it just feels less likely. I think they might do it in Australia, actually, because Australia don't really like China anymore. I think the UK, at least before the pandemic, were kind of decently tied to China politically. I think the US and China were having a trade war before, so there's pretty much no argument that they're friends. Mainly because they protect like Taiwan and Japan and South Korea from China, who they don't really like. India's pretty close to Russia as well, so if you know, China's in a bit of a difficult situation right now, especially considering they have what is arguably the most powerful nation on the planet complaining at them because they think that they are responsible for the current pandemic. You know, not really a situation I'd necessarily want to be in if I was the president of a country. But yeah, China and the US don't really like each other. Trump isn't optional, so you can probably say goodbye to your favourite TikTok stars, and TikTok stars can probably say goodbye to their careers. Actually, something I think I haven't mentioned, or at least I haven't made it clear enough. Oh yeah, so India and the US aren't banning it just because of the conflict. They're also banning it because they think that the Chinese Communist Party are collecting data illegally, you know, people's locations and personal information, that sort of thing. And that's something that China do a lot in their country, especially. Like, in China, there's no YouTube, there's no Twitter. It's no democracy, you know, you don't have, a lot of your rights in China are pretty much just not really there. But I'm pretty sure that it's not very nice to do it to people internationally. And that's something that Huawei was obviously accused of as well. Like, I think that's why they made Google put so many restrictions on what they could do with their software. So it's not really just that the US and India don't really like China, it's just the fact that they're probably spying on people. And needless to say, that's not really very good. Well, goodbye to people who do TikTok as a job then. I probably shouldn't make a joke about that, that's not very nice. Yeah, I probably shouldn't laugh at people like potentially losing their careers, but I honestly urge you to just make a YouTube channel or like, I don't know, just do something that you can do online, I guess. But yeah, it's not like this guy is going to unban TikTok just because a few TikTok stars told him, don't ban TikTok, I do it for a career. Like, do you know what I mean? But just, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this situation. Just the fact that certain countries are looking at banning TikTok, which I'm not that sad about because I don't even use it. But I know a lot of people, it's going to ruin a lot of people's careers because some people do TikTok as like a career. And it's probably one of the biggest platforms of entertainment at the moment. So I just hope that some kind of alternative app is released for those who find like TikTok just as entertaining as I find YouTube or Netflix. But yeah, it's just looking like you might have to say goodbye to TikTok for a while. There won't be any more of this to speak of. But yeah, I think I'll just leave it there. Thank you all very much for watching the video. I hope you did enjoy it. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. The links are down below in the description. And obviously, leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video. Please don't go and send any hate over to any of the TikTok stars that I featured because they're really just unneeded. And yeah, that's pretty much all from me. So have a nice day and in a bit, fellas.